Hello everyone, welcome to the Reality Lens podcast. I'm Atika. In this podcast, we talk about films not only as an entertainment, but also about the messages behind them. Okay, today we're going to discuss two films named Joker and The Hunger Games. So, of course, I'm not alone. Joe and Vira are here too. How are you guys?
Hello, great. Ready to discuss the matters of Gotham and Panem.
Hello everyone, I'm so excited all because we're going to use a sociological lens to analyze these two films.
Well, before we get too far, I want to ask the listener or you guys, when was the last time you watched a film with a genre that really made you think hard about the state of your world today, like science fiction and crime fiction?
Wow, Hunger Games is a classic. But Joker really gives us a darker slab of reality.
Alright, now we're getting into the theory part. Don't worry, we'll keep it chill. We're using the literary sociology theory from Wellek and Warren. Jovin, can you explain what is the theory is actually?
Sure, so according to Rene, Wellek, and Austin Warren, literature doesn't exist in a vacuum, it's always connected to society. They argue that literary sociology looks at how literature and society influence each other, and they divide it into the three main aspects. First, the sociology of the author. This focuses on the social background, ideology, and life experience of creator. Basically, who made the work and what kind of the world shaped their perspective. Second, the sociology of work itself. This is about how the story represents social reality, such as things like class struggle, power inequality, violence, law, and resistance all fall into this category. And the third one, also the last one, the sociology of the reader or viewer. This part looks at how the audience reacts to the work and how it affects society. It questions, does it change how people think? Does it spark debate, empathy, or even protest?
Okay, so for today's discussion, which part are we focusing on?
We're focusing on the second one, the sociology of work. We're analyzing how Joker and the Hunger Games represent a real social problem through their stories.
Can you connect that directly to the films?
Yeah, in Joker, the film shows a society where social services are cut, mental health is ignored, and economic inequality is extreme. Gotham is portrayed as a city where the system protects the rich and abandons the poor. Arthur Flex, as we know as Joker's real name, his breakdown isn't just personal, it's social.
And what is the point of our favorite science fiction based film, The Hunger Games?
Well, in that case, the Hunger Games represents a dystopian society where inequity is institutionalized, the capital lives in a luxury while the districts suffer. The law and political system exist only to maintain control, and the Hunger Games themselves are a tool of oppression.
So basically, these movies are reflecting society back at us.
Exactly. Wellek and Warren believe that literature mirrors social reality even when it's fictional or dystopian. Joker and the Hunger Games exaggerate reality, but the problems they show are very real.
Okay, let's start with the first similarity, which is social inequality. Wellek and Warren say that literary works often reflect the structure of society. How can we see this inequality in both films?
It's very clear. In the Hunger Games, social inequality is evident between the capital and the districts. The opening scene shows the slum of District 12. Katniss's old and poorly maintained house and her home with very little furniture. To survive, Katniss often hunts in the forest. This shows that Katniss's house isn't just a place to live, but a symbol of structural poverty and social inequality. From a sociological perspective, this condition shows how the lower class lives without any guarantee of welfare. Meanwhile, the capital is depicted as very luxurious filled with tall buildings, advanced technology, glamorous clothes, and abundant food. They enjoy the luxuries resulting from the exploitation of the districts, including resources and labor. In a sociological analysis of work, the capital represents the dominant upper class.
Joker feels very sad.
Yes, very much do. Yeah. Do you remember the scene with Arthur on the commuter train, where we see Gotham City depicted as dirty, full of rats, and the people are rude and unfriendly? Contrast that with the scene of Thomas Wayne in the theater building. Thomas Wayne is wearing a neat suit and is in a very clean and well-maintained environment. This disparity creates an emotional wall. Thomas Wayne refers to the angry poor people or as clowns. This proves well and warrants a view that literature depicts real social classes. Yeah.
So, what about oppressions?
The oppression in this film is both physical and social. Let's recall the opening scene where Arthur is working as a street clown, and a group of teenagers steal his signboard and beat him up in a narrow alley when he tries to get it back. This shows direct oppression. Gotham society is portrayed as having lost its sense of empathy. This oppression occurs because Arthur is considered weak and different. Sociologically, this scene shows an environment full of hatred towards individuals with mental illness. Yeah.
The oppression in the Hunger Games is obvious. In the ripping scene, the children's fearful expressions, the silence of crowd, and the cold attitude of the Capitol officials confirms that the process is coercive. Through the Hunger Games, During the Hunger Games, they are treated as objects of entertainment. And the children are forced to fight, they are forced to fight to death without the right to refuse. The Hunger Game here is a tool of social control and oppression. Not just entertainment, it's also some kind of very complex and hard situation, and yeah, something like that.
So, what about the laws in both films?
In the Hunger Games, the law only favors the capital, the upper class, not the middle social class or even lower than that. The clearest evidence of this is a law that requires children from each district to participate in a lottery where they must fight to death. This law is not meant to protect citizens, but to control and intimidate them. This proves that the law functions as a tool of power, not justice. It is abused by the elitists.
Yeah, in Joker movie, the law does not appear physically, but as an impartial system. We see this in the scene where Arthur is called in by his boss after the incident where he was beaten up by the group of young men. Instead of being defended, Arthur is accused of stealing the billboard and his salary is cut. Under the labor laws in the film, Arthur is still considered a foul for failing to protect company assets. Additionally, there is also a government policy that terminates social service contracts. So the oppression in this film is carried out by people. but the law becomes the system that legitimates Arthur's suffering. That's
Alright, next question. What kind of social resistance do we see in these two films?
The social resistance depicted in this film is seen when Katniss gives the three-finger salute like this, or maybe like this, if I am not mistaken, and is followed by the citizens of District 12, which becomes a symbol of solidarity and rejection of the capital. And there's another moment where Katniss and Peeta refuse to obey the rules by threatening to kill themselves together using poisonous berries, forcing the capital to change their decision. Social resistance in this film is depicted as symbolic and collective action, showing that society still has room to fight back and question authority.
the social resistance in the movie Joker is anarchic. We see this in the final scene. Joker stand on the top of police car. Around him, Gotham is pouring with people wearing clown masks and the strange shops. They have no clear political agenda. They just want to destroy the system that has destroyed their life. This is social resistance from the lower class who has given up hope.
I think by discussing movie using sociological film, is it really that important?
Well, yeah, it's really important because these films are a representation of reality of our society. Wellek and Warren say that literature does not arise from a vacuum. What we see on screen, inequality, injustice, is a reflection of what we feel in the real world.
Okay. When talking about social inequality in the real world, we often see a huge gap between the rich and the poor. Well, this is very relevant to these two films, right?
Yeah, in Joker, social inequality is evident in Arthur Fleck's life. He lives in poverty, has difficulty access mental health care, and is often treated inhumanly. This is similar to the reality today, where people with money have easier access to education, healthcare, and decent job. Meanwhile, the lower classes often have to struggle just to meet their basic needs.
Meanwhile, in the Hunger Games, the inequality is more extreme, very extreme. The capital lives in luxury while districts such as District 12, from the lowest of these social class, live in starvation. This reflects real-life conditions where the center of the power lives in prosperity while other areas are left behind. For example, between the city center and the suburbs.
Okay. So,
That's it.
both in movie and in real life, social class really affect a person's quality of life. Next is the issue of oppression. This phenomenon is also still commonly found in society.
Yeah.
Well, in real life, oppression can be seen in workers who are forced to work hard for low wages or in marginalized groups whose voices are not heard. This is clearly illustrated in the Hunger Games through the forced participation of children in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, oppression also often occurs psychological. Many people are treated inhumanly simply because of their low social status. This is similar to the depiction in Joker, where weak individuals are often ignored and by title by their surroundings. So, yeah.
According to Wellek and Rene, social conflict like this are shown to criticize injustice in society. Now let's move on to law. Many people feel that the law in real life is not always fair. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very, it's very factual and well, I can talk about it. Well,
Yeah.
so
In
continue.
In reality, powerful people often find it easier to escape the clutches of the law, while ordinary people are punished more severely. This is reflected in Joker when the legal system and social police fail to protect Arthur.
When it comes to movies, both Joker and The Hunger Games depict the law as an instrument of power. This reflects the reality that the law is used not for justice, not for truth, but to protect the interests of certain groups.
These two films, the law does not function as an instrument of justice, but as an instrument of social control. When the law fails and oppression continues, social resistance usually arises. We see this in society today.
Social resistance in the real world can take the form of demonstrations, student protests, labor movements, or community solidarity on social media. There are ways for people to voice their opposition to injustice.
Yeah, that's right. Resistance in movies is often portrayed as extreme, but in reality, resistance can start with small things such as voicing opinions, or building collective awareness. So the point is, resistance arises because people are tired of an unfair system.
So social resistance is not just chaos, but a response to a failed social system.
Yeah,
It's not that complicated, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
We discuss both Joker and
It's very simple.
Hunger Games reflect how social inequality can lead to resistance.
Yeah, exactly. And literary social help us see that entertainment has strong moral and so political message. Yes.
Okay, wow. Thank you so
Yeah.
much,
Oh my God.
Vera.
Yeah, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Good for
Very,
Oh my God.
yeah, I very appreciate it.
For
Very,
those of you listening,
Yeah.
try watching these two films while thinking about the points we discussed. I'm Atika. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
bye.